Brother and sister, what a wonderful exhortation. But I want you to go to Genesis 2, verse 7, where you can see that God is forming a man with the dust of the ground. This is quite different than what is said in Genesis 1, verse 27, where you can see that God made man and woman at his image and likeness. And this is like a second creation. To me, according to what is said in the Bible, it is like when the man was introduced on the earth, because he was first created. The Bible says in Genesis 1, verse 27, he made man and woman, both of them, at the image of God. And in the chapter 2, it is said in the verse 7 that he formed man from the dust. And you can notice that man was introduced first. He was introduced first. They were created, both man and women, in the first chapter. In the second chapter, man is introduced. He is built from the dust of the ground. You see, it is very important to notice this part. I wanted to point this part. It is very important, brother and sister. You will understand why. After building a body, it is said he breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. You can see that he was alone on the earth, brother and sister. And Yahweh God took the man and put him into the Garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it. Meaning that now I'm talking to a man who want to love someone, who want to get married, who want to marry a lady. Brother, I'm talking to you. You shall be ready. You shall be ready, my brother and sister, before involving yourself in this matter. As you can see, God introduced Adam first. And Adam received a kind of training. He received responsibilities. You see, Yahweh God commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden you may freely eat. So you receive a recommendation from God, instruction from God, meaning that man is the owner, man is the commander, man is the responsible, the first one. And you are the one who is supposed to lead your family, to lead your wife, to lead your children. Reason why you shall be ready. And you will notice that Eve was introduced after this chapter. I mean, it was introduced after after the man received instruction from God. You see, it is said, if you read the verse 20 of the second chapter, it is said, the man gave names to all the livestock and the birds of the sky and to every animal of the field. But for man there was no found a helper suitable for him. Yahweh God caused a deep sleep when the man finished to do what he was supposed to do. When the man finished his training, he finished to achieve every responsibility he first received from God. Then God decided to introduce Eve, to introduce the woman. It means that before involving yourself in a marriage matter, you shall become a mature person. You shall become a responsible person who is feeling God, a person who used to worship. I mean, a worshiper. I mean, a person who knows God and who is doing everything according to the precept of God. This is what is coming out when I'm reading this scripture. They were made together, but one only was introduced first. Why? And once he received instruction, He became ready, and then God caused a deep sleep to him. Then he introduced the woman. He took the woman from Adam. You see, brother and sister. So to my sisters, you are not supposed to love him because he's handsome, because he got beautiful eyes. You see, brother and sister. You are not supposed to love him because he has a sweet voice. You shall seek a father behind the man who will share his life with you, brothers and sisters. You shall accept to marry a person who has a vision in life. You are not supposed to make a mistake because it is one-way travel, brothers and sisters. Very important to understand. Don't marry him because he's so tall, because he's so handsome, as said before by Bro Francis, because he got a loud voice. No, brothers and sisters, it will be a mistake. Don't marry her because she got a sweet voice, because she's so beautiful, because she's curvy. No, my brothers and sisters, it will be a mistake. As you can see in the book of Genesis chapter 2 verse 23, the man said, "This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh." From this statement, you can clearly understand that there is a spiritual recognition. You see, behind the physical recognition, there is a spiritual one. And this must be, I say must, this must be one of the conditions to accept to marry someone. As it was explained early, we are coming on earth linked to someone, and everyone is coming in different way. Sometimes your husband is coming in Congo and you are coming in France. You were born in France and he was born in China, but you are linked, and finally you will meet in your life in order to achieve your destiny. But beyond the physical recognition, it is very important to know God early. So at the time you are supposed to meet the partner you will spend life with, you already receive a revelation from God, a kind of conviction that this person is the right one. You see, you will tell me that you don't need to be spiritual, you don't need to be a Christian, you don't need to believe in God to recognize the person you spend life with. Brother and sister, I will take an example. On this earth, 90% of people who are married, who are in love, they finally divorce. Why? Because something is missing. Because you can be attracted because a person is a beautiful person. You can be attracted because the man is handsome. But this is not enough. That is what I'm trying to explain. This is not enough. You shall look for a mature person, for a person with a vision. Reason why I'm talking to my brothers, become a man with a vision, brothers and sisters, because you are supposed to lead your wife, you are supposed to lead your children. You become responsible for the destiny, and you shall be sure, you shall know where you are leading them. You shall know the place you are taking them. It is very important, because wisdom comes from God. And if you don't know God, it will be quite difficult. I mean, you have 90% chance to fail. You see, brother and sister. So it is important to be close to God when the time of marriage comes in your life. It is very important, brother and sister. Otherwise, you will be making mistakes and mistakes. We have so many Christians in church now with 2 or 3 divorces in one life. Marriage is a one-way travel. brothers and sisters. So be careful. Be careful. So from God's view, there shall be a kind of readiness in your life before getting married with someone. There shall be a readiness to get in life, like we have learned in Adam's life. He was introduced first on earth. He received revelation, he received instruction, he received recommendation, and he started doing his job. And that job is made inside, brothers and sisters. It is not outside, but it is happening in you. You are building something, and you are moving to your destiny. You are moving to that maturity that God expects you to get before involving yourself in marriage. And secondly, there is a spiritual recognition, as we can see in Genesis, when Adam is meeting Eve for the first time, and he could have that spiritual recognition when he met Eve. And it is important when you are in love with someone that the feeling is shared. You shall be sure that the person you are in love with is having the same feeling than you. It is very important. Otherwise, you are going to fail. You are going straight to the failure, my brother and sister. And I repeat, the first condition is the readiness. You shall get a readiness in your life before involving yourself in marriage, because God wants a mature person. You are the driver. You are the chief. You are the one who are supposed to lead the others. You are supposed to lead your wife. You are supposed to lead your children. So you shall be ready. And God wants you to walk to your readiness. Like you can see, Adam was introduced first. He was introduced on earth, and he received all the recommendation. He received everything from God, and he started doing his job. And once more time, the job is made inside you, not outside. And once Adam became ready, God introduced now Eve from Adam. He introduced Eve on earth. And once Adam met Eve for the first time, there was a spiritual recognition. A spiritual recognition, my brothers and sisters. The man said, "This is now bone of my bones." That was a spiritual recognition, because he never met Eve before. So while you are in love, when you are in love with someone, you shall be sure that the feeling is shared, that the person you are in love with has also the same feeling that you have. It is very important. Otherwise, your relationship will go to fail, brother and sister. You will be in love for 1 year, 2 years, and divorce will happen. So you shall be sure. And for the ladies, you shall seek a partner who can take you somewhere very good, who can take you to your destiny. It is very important. And the main point is to know God early in your life, so you can avoid mistake. Because if you know God, if you are involved in God and God in you, then you will be, every step in your life will be led by God himself. So in that case, you won't make a mistake, my brothers and sisters. And you will not focus on physical aspect, but on spiritual ones.
And Brother Francis and brother and sister, I wanted to add that your partner's success or your partner's failure in life is closely linked to you, brothers and sisters. It is closely linked to your maturity, to your attitude, and to your mindset. Reason why we can notice that many people are getting married with motivation, with happiness, but when they reach the middle of their life, there is no more happiness in their life. projects are no more there, and no motivation anymore, and no hope anymore, and everything has been left behind, my brothers and sisters. And this depends on the partner you are choosing in life. Because as just reminded by Brother Francis, sometimes we are having children who are raising other children, or blind people who are leading other blind people. You know, your home is like a church. When you see church, the configuration of church, it is exactly like home, like your house, and the pastor is the husband, and the staff in charge of church is the spouse, and the rest of the people, those who are coming to pray, are the symbol of your children, in the house. You are supposed to give the example. You are supposed to lead them to the vision. And I wanted also to speak to someone who is married to a person who got a vision in life. You are supposed to be the support, the requested support your partner needs in his life. The completion of the vision, the achievement of the work depends on your mindset, as I said, brothers and sisters. And it is very important to know that the success, as said Brother Francis, doesn't depend on you only. There is no more you. Once you get married with someone, there is no more you, brothers and sisters. But even your language shall change. We're talking about us now, not me, not you, but us. You see, so may God continue to teach us these things, so someone may prevent himself to fall into the devil's trap, because the marriage is a one-way travel, as I'm saying, one-way travel. There is no need for rollback. There is no way for reverse. You see. So may God continue to teach us through this exhortation, through this teaching period we are having together.